Right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ayalita Lito. I'm a Feng Shui master and astrology practitioner right here in the Bay Area. Welcome to Los Gatos. It's September the 6th, 2021. I was almost said my year of birth. So today is our monthly Feng Shui Connect meeting that we are going to be sharing some latest news as well as some discussion of what's upcoming season is offering and how we should tweak our conduct. Of course, I will be welcoming everybody to some questions and answers. I'm going to keep it like really short, trying to get the presentation through in within 20 minutes. That gives us a chance for questions and answers. And I will share my presentation. So feel free to raise your hand or text, or maybe will be a section up after the questions will open up to the discussion. So feel free to anything that addresses the Feng Shui, astrology, maybe some sharing some new projects. So you're welcome to do so, right? Okay, share my screen. There we go. Okay, I will expand that. Okay, all right, there we are. Is this sees well or is this beyond the screen? I hope people can see, but I'm going to read it starting with the quote. Mind and its projections are innocent. They are very ordinary, very natural, and very simple. Red is not evil and white is not divine. Blue is not evil and green is not divine. Sky is sky, rock is a rock, earth is earth, mountains are mountains. I am what I am, and you are what you are. Therefore, there are no particular obstacles to experiencing our world properly, and nothing is regarded as problematic. I really enjoyed this, reading this quote just earlier today. And I think this has been a very good starting for our continue our monthly meetings as a Feng Shui Connect on Zoom. And as always, reminder, the year of the ox, please do smile and bring the joy as much as you can. So this is another little glimpse, Feng Shui or not, I'm not the movie, that palm tree, right? And you're on the island. I just want you to stay put, stay present, stay calm. So inviting you that. This is very, very important time frame for all of us to experience. Hopefully it goes next slide. Oh, I went too many. Okay, today's subject. So we're going to discuss about the lucky days. I'm going to give you the list of lucky days that you can feel free to take a screenshot or be patient and wait for in 2 days. You're going to have your email. So that will be the information for September and October. When I do talk about the lucky days, I'm just giving you, extracting the most kind of juiciest days that you are free to do a certain important events for yourselves or for your business. Obviously, when we do consult in a date selection, let's say for the groundbreaking or for blessings, those nuances, those days are different for the circumstances and different for the different purposes and people. So if you need more information, feel free to visit me or contact me for a specific date selection. I'm also going to be introducing you to the keynote, which is starts tomorrow, and it's called the Why Do. And this particular keynote is going to be transitioning into the September 23rd to the autumn equinox. So I'm going to give you the kind of the introduction to both. This is how we adjust our conduct. And there will be some questions and answers and some announcements. Quick reminder. We are still in a year of ox. And I know there have been some requests. Oh, when the year of a tiger starts, what is the next year? So people are really, really kind of anticipating and are kind of a little bit agile about the change or shift. And probably everybody is already kind of a little bit overwhelmed and tired of hearing, in a sense of, 2020 as a year of a rat, or the COVID, or the circumstances that we worldwide experience. And now with the ox is feeling like a stuck, I'm allowing you to experience that. Feeling stuck at this very moment, it might be almost like that, the deep settlement when you take let's say when you pour some tea or coffee or do the Americano, and you know how the settlement gets in the very bottom, and then it's like very hard to get out of the mug or cup. So that residue, the heaviness is almost like remains. You don't have to take it in. So we're kind of opening up this as opportunity for you to maybe even do the divination, turn your cup around and look at the images that's what's appearing to you. But don't read into much the feeling that you are feeling like stuck or doesn't move anywhere. Okay. The potential is enormous, because the accumulative effect of the 2020, that was year of a rat, and now kind of consolidating, putting this, simplifying your projection, maybe simplifying your viewpoint, simplifying the current situation, and maybe later on when you go back to the quote that I started this meeting, and reflecting on that will allow you to accept the current state, accept the current time frame, accept the circumstances, almost like accepting the residue that we have at the bottom of our coffee mug or our teacup. Because it's coming from somewhere. It's our perception to it. So do we need to really waste energy? We don't. We are kind of reminding you, be observers. Don't react on that. You don't react, hey, my coffee is gone. Instead, well, I know where to get the new one. I can make another cup of coffee or tea and carry on. So ox as its superpower, because this is what you're reading right now, this superpower is endurance and reliability, appreciative, keep reminding about discipline and work ethic. So staying continuous and persistent in what you settle for yourself early in the spring. It's almost like it's not turning back to it. So my own commitment to Zoom, I know everybody is tired of Zoom from the past year and a half, but somehow the tradition or Zoom, who we need to unmute? Irene, you're misbehaving. I got you. So I love this. So when we talk about year of ox, which we're still in it until the February 1st, stay on your track, stay on your, simple path. You don't have to kind of exaggerate. Nothing, it's not a requirement. Simplicity and ease. I'm reminding that to myself as well. Simplicity and ease and human approach. Just remember the human kind of, we interact with each other. We have our own background, our own fears and excitements and maybe unfulfilled dreams, etc. But like if we look at it just as a day, as a one day at a time, and how we cultivate this day and what do we do with our time, that what matters. That what matters the most. So going back to the also year of a rat, maybe self-reflect. This is a beautiful time to self-reflect. It goes in alignment with the harvest. Because think about in a process of harvest, when we plant the seed and when we have intention to plant the seed, let's say we're planting our pumpkins, then the only thing we expect in the garden are the grown-up pumpkins. We're not being taken by surprise because seeds don't lie. What only may be lacking is our cultivation. That might be interfering with something that is maybe taken by surprise or not unexpected. That's just a reflection of our conduct. So I encourage you to simplify the year. You have still one more quarter until the February 1st, till the year of a tiger starts, is to almost like really settle into the routine, simple routine.
No, I got it.
Okay. All right. Gather the chi. Okay. How do I move to the next slide? Help me, help me. It's not moving. It's moving. Good. All right, the Chinese New Year metal ox, we still have it. So the year of an ox ends on the January 31st and starts the new year, new lunar year, going to start on February 1st. So we still have time. I just want you to kind of know we still have time. And what I want you to use this time is to reflect and create a tradition. It's either the tradition of patterns, like for me personally, that's the morning practice, the qigong or meditation, and walk. That would be also these monthly calls, but anything that you find or family or like one outing per month with a family, with whole family, that's very important. So maintain that. So lucky days, when we talk about lucky days in September, on average, like these are kind of above average juicy days, and there's quite a few this month. So I'm inviting you to be fairly productive and precise with your decisions. There's a list of the 6th, 7th, 8th. This week particularly is really extraordinary, unique, and it's kind of if you are not exhausted and if you are in a good terms with your schedules. And as you know, the kind of school year for a lot of people, a lot of kids and families have started. So does mine. So, and I just noticed this week is really, I'm looking forward to this upcoming 2 weeks for sure. So 6th, 7th, 8th, 10th, 13th, 14th, 19th, 20th, 22nd, 23rd is autumn equinox day. And then 26th, 30th of October, September. Then October 1st, 2nd, 6th, 8th, 9th, 14th, 20th, and 21st. So if you somewhere like, take a snapshot or write it down, that these are the days will be also available on our mail, on our email with the recording. When I talk about avoiding means it's not like avoiding like neglecting, but avoiding means, let's say on these avoiding days, I would not start like groundbreaking or would not sign the major contract. So, and those are just a few days in September, the 16th and 28th, and in October would be 11th and 23rd. These are almost like the days when you want to rest, reflect, meditate, do something easy, like almost like, picking up the book and reading or going on the long walks, maybe even organizing and purging and just clearing or preparing your home. So if you do the purging and clearing of your home before these days, then creating the salt cures or doing the saging your home during these days when it's a void is very, very very good for you, very good for your environment. So there's nothing bad. It's just what's appropriate. So I want to keep these days and times being used appropriately. Okay. Any questions? If any questions, I'll write it down and I will address. When we talk about salt cures, just a quick reminder. I know that the salt cures, I teach about the salt cures, how to set it up during the Chinese New Year. But if you have experienced any unfortunate event, or you feel like there is a stagnation or energy obstruction in your own space, you can do the salt cures also through the year. And the simplest salt cure would be the rock salt that you, after you clean the space, you pour it into the vessel, into the bowl, for example, and you settle for 24 hours, like overnight. After you, let's say I clean my room, let's say my spouse is not sleeping well and have had a kind of not that easy sleep during the night. So what I'm planning to do is to eliminate that, is to, is to, after the room is all kind of purged and clean and organized, and after smudging, I would set the salt cure in that room overnight. And then next day, I would bring the salt out to the earth and kind of discard it into the earth. Then you can open the windows, you can open up, and you can also, again, use the sage or incense, or just burn the candle and have a prayer, or play the prayer, or pray the, like, maybe just sit in meditation. Don't have to like over analyze, over, it's nothing. It's just creating the energy move. That's what you want to do. You want to add the energy movement in the space when they were feeling stagnation. Okay, so the next part of this I would like to introduce today was talking about the, as you know, there's more things to Chinese astrology and Feng Shui. And one of the concepts that I personally follow and study more and observe, like even creating my own environment. Like today, I turned my own screen, reversed into the more like a yin part of the screen versus the yang part, because this is the pivot moment. This is the first notion of why do the Qi node, we start noticing that the fall and winter is coming. Okay, and this is just the most beautiful time frame where if we kind of slow down in the sense of observing, but not stiff, because we have been in emotion during the summer, during the spring, there was inspirations. So when we talk about the why do, is that it's almost like gives you the preliminary, like a start. Get ready for the finish line of the year. And it's kind of gives that inhale and pause of all the events. You start observing what's happening, how productive you have been through the past 6 months. How much energy you have devoted to your work, or to your health, or to your family, to your whatever that is. And this is almost like observing and start clearly like cutting and sorting. Oh, this works, this project works, this doesn't, this is, I can keep it for next year, this I can continue. So it's almost like have a clear cut. It associates with the element of metal element we find in nature. It's just a refinement. When I talk about it's yin, but it's also refinement. It has the sharp edges, but that adds the precision. So instead of there being cultivating, let's say, fear, you actually almost like very making faster decisions. It's almost like when the pumpkins are maturing on the fields, for them not to be spoiled, what do? We cut them off the stem, right? And that's how they can sit on the fields and just mature and never rot. So why do note? I can read it a little bit more to it. Why do Qi note shows the shifting relationship between collapsing yang and ascendant yin? When we talk about ascendant yin, it's it's actually, it's the yin is taking charge because it's getting into its own element. You know how we talk about people like they're introvert and extrovert, right? The extroverts probably would use their energy if they need to kind of be in a loud, crowded spaces and step on a stage and, you know, listen to me, right? But when does the yin person will be empowered? Just think about it. That will be like a leading meditation. There'll be someone who's leading the yoga or meditation or giving the talk or giving a, you know, telling the poetry or playing the piano, right? So the yin, when it's yin in charge, inspires, it inspires to feel, to think, to okay. In the morning, Waidu is the harbinger of change. The clouds are high in the sky. The growing west winds are cool. Dew is fresh yin chi, a fragile glimpse of snow. The growing yin almost goes unnoticed. As the last of the summer chi subsides and cool west wind chi appears, and the season of the autumn begins and develops. Geese migrate south and fall harvest continues in earnest. Waidu is a time of occasional cold, early mornings that marks the approach and development of the annual yin qi. It is time of clarity and stillness. During this period, the environment grows even more yin and is characterized by a cool, dry wind. That's the metal element. During this chi node, the environment chi is the best at 5 p.m. So if you do practice any meditations or Nigong, that should be done or preferably done indoors. And another suggestion during this chi node, if you can practice, I will try. I had my supper, is to don't eat at all after 7 p.m. So almost like have a like not the cleanse, I mean the fast, right? So you can fast till the next morning and maybe have the first meal after that. So allow to, there's other meridians that are involved during this transitional time frame. So you're definitely doing the body a nice adjustment because our blood flow is also going to slow down. So the body is adjusting and not to push and not to let's say exhaust your bodies. So maybe try to practice for just for these few weeks, only for this chi node, to try maybe not to eat after 7 p.m. or maybe, I mean, the latest 8 p.m. And yeah, just try it. I mean, all I can say is to suggest that will be very timely going in the larger rhythms of the yin and yang configuration. So, okay. Okay, next. Oh, so this is one of the, I just came up with how I associate this time frame. This is from my travels in Hangzhou in China at the tea house. And this is one of the rooms that I had a tea ceremony. It was a very contemporary place and kind of bringing that even the chandelier was in a shape, I don't know if you can see, but I'm gonna make some you can see the light, the lamp was in a hulu shape. And I don't know if those who know the Chinese, the hulu by its shape is also represents the West, right? Also correlates to Feng Shui. And when we think about the trigram, it's the youngest daughter, Dewey. I'll try to use my skill. And so Dewey is like, it's a lake. And then you have a yin line on the top. So this part, the bottom belly is yang qi. The second is yang qi. And typically the Buddha, the the healers, if they would carry the medicine, they would have an opening, and that's the yin. So there's another representation or correlating things, how you can bring west or this particular chi node, or correlating to the time of slowing down. Maybe now when you have your tea, you might think about this trigram. And this trigram in Feng Shui is also called, or relates to youngest daughter. Youngest daughter, because it's like, if this is one, like this is one, line 2, line 3. So since the third line is the top and it's the feminine and it's the young, so it's the youngest daughter. So that's maybe in my next Feng Shui class. You can teach you all these interesting ways to remember trigrams and the environment. So, all right. Next, what do we have next? Oh, this is the adds also to longevity. Okay, when I was traveling 2015, it was my very first time to China. We came to the up to the north, with Shan Mountains, and this is on this 1,000 years old kind of the rock area where we did hike. As was in gold was the longevity. This means longevity. Okay, and want to kind of what's the auspice was about. You needed to come up to the rock and touch anywhere you can touch, like, and it's fairly, you have to reach, you have to kind of jump as long as you can jump. And that's why you can see the area right in the bottom here. It's almost like kind of smeared away. Nobody repaints it, by the way. Okay, it stays as naturally. I mean, I'm not 6 feet plus, so I can't. But this is just fairly high for me to reach. I was jumping up, and I did touch. So I wish everyone longevity. That's to the longevity rock, and then making the wish. Those who also know, those who worked with me or had Chinese astrology readings, the Ziwei Doshu readings, know that I learned this from my teacher, Lu Ming. And 2015 was the year that he passed. September 13th is going to be his birthday. And why I'm also talking about, why I want to talk about that is during this particular day, this was a double 9 day based on Taoist rituals. We were going to a special ceremony. And during this trip, I came across this bridge, and there was a bridge, and that bridge was supposed to make a wish. And one of my wish was like, I really wanted to, I asked divine, I asked the universe, I asked all the gods to bring it my way, to my path, a new teacher, to continue the study, to continue the Taoism, and just anything that would relate and will help me to be a better practitioner. And I swear to God, I was also making this selfie. This is my selfie, because there was the area when you would, before you cross that bridge, you stand behind this kind of statue, and I stand behind, and I took a selfie, and then I crossed the bridge with that wish. The same day, I did meet my teacher. I did not know that was a Taoist priestess, and I hope I can have her picture here, but I'll send the picture independently. But what happened was I was in a gondola up to the mountain that day, and I did not know who she was. Obviously, I don't speak Chinese. And we had, I saw her and our path crossed 3 times through the whole day. And she was going to visit her teacher and also harvesting some herbs that she was bringing to the village, in the local village. At the end of the day, I was kind of on my own. Like I was kind of a little bit, took my own time, and it was like a free walk down to the meeting area with the rest of the group. And I noticed her again across the bridge. So I don't know what really made me to come up but I gathered our interpreter and I just said, you know what, I just want to ask a few questions. I just don't know why. Can I introduce myself? I'm just curious, what are you experiencing, what were you doing on the mountain? And then she was holding in her hand, she was holding the branches of the evergreen. And as you know, the evergreen, some of the specific evergreens is like when you the UN probably knows better, but there is some evergreen like branches that when you steam them, that really helps with the lungs. And while she's explaining this in Chinese, I'm already know what she's talking about, and I'm just saying in English. And then our interpreter says, do you speak Chinese? Do you know? That's exactly what she said, because I kind of picked the information that she was sharing. And we exchanged information that evening. I had no expectations. I had no any things. And all I did, I sent a thank you card for her time after my return to US. In 2016, I received the package from Hangzhou, from the Huapu temple. And that's how our relationship started. That's where I learned that she is the Taoist priestess in the Hangzhou, one of the Taoist temples right on the West Lake. And on my next tour that I was visiting China that fall, I came and see her. So since I cannot go this year to China, and I've been seeing her for 5 consecutive years on any of my travels. So I wanted to share this story, how magical could be your intention, how when your intention is pure, when you don't have a really attachment to the outcome, I think it's going to bring a really, really amazing results. So this was a part of my intro presentation for today. In a few brief moments, maybe if those who may be interested, what I'm working on right now, I'm working on a kind of a larger project that is involved on the East Coast. It's the maybe those who know, I was doing the design for BioReset Medical here in Bay Area. The office expanding and they establishing the headquarters on the East Coast, and I've been complete 100% involved in this project. So this is very rewarding. But I'm still doing also all the little projects, obviously. But what I mean by when we get this opportunity as a practitioners, then when is the one building focuses that's gonna touch, hundreds and hundreds of lives. To me, it seems like multiplication of the practice. So when we do apply either for one residence or medical office that's going to serve hundreds and thousands on a yearly basis. So it takes a little bit different retrospect in a sense, but the same application. So that's exciting news. Also, a couple projects lately has been involved. People been thinking about the backyards, and I just was yesterday also somebody encouraging to use the natural elements in the land more, even you're seeking for contemporary gardens and creating your ambient space connecting. It's very important to identify the areas and identify things that you already have or what land offers. Either it's in a distant views or it's sometimes in a premises. For example, this particular client, when we had through the discussion, it's bedrock is so hard that the original intention to eliminate or to even it out the platform is actually to start digging and enhancing the rock and almost creating the rock garden around it. So, and again, through the understanding the feng shui and to understanding the flow and appropriate aspect, what relates to ancestry, it relates to the Qian or the heavenly Qi. So it's all came together just in and just in a very simple conversation discussion. So that's about it. Anyone would like to, has any questions, any comments, share some news? Anyone? Everybody's so quiet. Did you enjoy the at least, I don't know what I was, did you have any questions of the keynotes or about the conduct, anything? Everybody's just smiling. I'll make you do some dancing.
Can you give us
Yeah,
yeah.
Irene.
Can you give
Yes,
us the dates again?
yes,
Good-
Irene.
yes, can you give us the good dates for
I gave the good dates, okay, for September.
Okay.
Are you ready? Repeating it again.
All
So
right.
lucky day September, the 6th,
Yeah.
that's today, the 7th, the 8th, 10th, 13th, 14th, 19th, 20th, 22nd, 23rd,
Okay.
26th, and 30th.
30th. Okay.
And my next Feng Shui Connect Zoom call will be on October 5th. I'll be
Okay.
back from the Utah doing the presentation on Salt Lake City on either the 1st or 2nd of October, but I will be back. So we're keeping the date of the October 5th as our next meeting date.
Okay. Good. Uh-huh. And
So
then
anything else?
and then the October dates.
In October would be the 1st, 2nd, the 6th,
Uh-huh.
8th, 9th, 14th,
Okay.
20, and 21st.
20, 20.
Yeah, it seems like it seems like September is really, I would say, majestic in a sense. I would
Mhm.
take it, I would not be lazy. You know, I would really encourage all of us after this Labor Day, like today, is to kind of, I'm inspiring you to really kind of purge, clean, reset, and give up on projects that do not work out.
Okay.
Okay, because if you start recognizing that there's something is just like it's exhausting and it's taking too much energy from you, don't waste your chi. Maybe it's not timely, maybe it's too many. Okay, so kind of yeah, look, be honest with yourselves, be kind of encourage your own capacity, what to do, what not to do. And this time frame is also important to look into because it replicates the kind of, you're getting a little bit taste of metal chi element. And year of a tiger, even it's the water tiger year, in the nature of a tiger is metal. So there will be the discipline, the requirements of strong yes, strong no, very spontaneous, sometimes like, and also very spiritual practice will be, you're going to be accountable, you're going to be taking accountability, how you practice, how you pray. Okay, because anything that is not pure could be at the target. Probably it's going to take a longer to explain that. I'm not going to touch the subject. I'm going to have been reading a lot what it means to be prepared or how to conduct yourself on the upcoming year of a tiger. But what I will say is, for sure, if somebody says, well, what spirituality or what you practice, or I'm Buddhist, or really how you cultivate what you do that's going to be challenged. Okay, if it's unpure, then don't claim it. So that's kind of to give you a little insight towards the 2022 conduct. It's nothing bad. If you do your prayer the way you do it, in your mother tongue or the way you know it, we don't have to be loud and proud about it. You just do it for yourself, okay, as a routine. So something more, as I said, I'm just preparing for for my Chinese New Year talks for the 2022, and I do find the year of a tiger comes with a very the pivot in a very in a heart level, in a spirit, in a Shen level. You probably understand what I mean. It's hard to describe in a kind of in a traditional way. Some other news I can share with you is that I will be taking my I'm preparing for my priestess kind of vows, I guess, and that is taking place between October 30th and November 1st. That's with Sifu Jerry Allen Johnson. So the program of the Christian mysticism class has been coming to fruition, coming to the end. My class is going to start in 10 minutes, so I will be leaving soon. This is also adds a little bit more responsibility, but not responsibility of like, no, I'm this. It's more a human responsibility, you know, like heart to heart, the kindness, and of course we get tested by life. So I want you to stay present, you know, express your love. Don't be shy from saying I love you if you love somebody. Be generous, be kind. That's all that makes our physical environment better. And don't waste your energy in the matters that you cannot directly impact. If you're watching the news and you're complaining about it, you're wasting your chi. Just don't. If you need to engage in those conversations and those you can't really through the conversation, you know, I would rather than read a book or have a prayer. So be mindful, because even our words do impact the vibration. We're sending the waves. Maybe we cannot, not tangible. So instead of the unspoken, you know, kind of complain, you know, kind of take it all in and reverse. We all wish that things would be different, but let it accept that we are in the place where we are. If we're healthy, then it's a blessing. If we have our family and kids and loved ones, it's a blessing. And let's kind of, you know, let's rule the territory that we are standing on, rather than that we can't even claim. So that is I don't know where this came from, but I love it. Any last minute questions? I have 8 minutes. Feel free if you need to reconnect, feel free to do so, but opening to, yes, go Yan.
Oh, I wanted to say tonight's the new moon. And so what a beautiful timing. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And Virgo saying the exact same thing, just clean up and yeah. So thank you.
Let's do that. You're welcome. Thanks for reminding. Yeah, I haven't looked at that part. That's good. That's good to know. So yeah,
see you next month.
Yeah, definitely. See you next month. So what you can do in the new moon is like also, so the new moon is going to transition. So in 3 days, so you're going to start accumulating things, right? So now it's a clarity, the neutralize. So the past week was a really good time when you were releasing things. Now if you organize it, you can start like kind of enhancing or adding. So, hey.
I had a quick question on the salt jars. So the salt jars, they're not black. But if you're saying, hey, if you just want to, instead of changing it every year, if you want to change it at 6 months and say, thank you, pour the salt water out and do new ones, do that?
No, so I would not touch the yearly. It's not regarding the yearly salt cures. This was for simply, let's say, I had a client who had argument, very vicious argument in the house, and they needed to kind of, feeling the energy, it's still there. So even when you, let's say you do the, like you clean the place, you aerate the place, you smudge the place, you burn the candles. And even after that, if it still feels heavy, that's when I recommend you take I use the either ceramic ball or I use the wood ball, and I bring the ball and I have like a pound of rock salt, and I pour intentionally. I kind of have a prayer over, and I would say, let this divine soul just to absorb anything that remains in the air, on the walls, in above, below, within, outside, like anything that gets accumulates overnight. This basically like giving a demanding or giving the order, okay, to that. That's my intention. So I'm intentionally doing that. And I'm leaving this like as a still overnight. And then the first thing in the morning, I open up the windows, I open up the doors, then I take that salt, and I can, ideally will be also bringing to the east, to the rising sun, sunrise, so to purge, to purify, to reset. So it's never being heard, never like a reuse for food, just that it's you devoting, you kind of, all the salt, the ions that in the air will absorb anything that is kind of loose particles energetically, spiritually, and physically. So it's going to be kind of magnetizing, absorbing.
So you choose one spot, or you can choose 3 spots.
You can, let's say if it's it depends how big is the space. If it's let's say it's a bedroom, it could be even, under the bed. To be honest, like if something that was been, relationship, if it's been a curling, like, my partner, something is not, let's say you just have arguments with the kids, maybe it took place in a kitchen. So maybe innocently as a parent, right? You're not going to say, hey, don't touch this salt, right? At the end of them, I clean up the dishes, I clean up everything. You know what? It's a very heavy at heart, and I didn't expect that argument. What do? So you'd maybe take a small ball, you do like almost like intentionally says like let all that accumulate, because then you shifting the chi, you're shifting the energy.
Thank you so much. Have a
You're
good next
welcome.
meeting. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? Good. All right. Well, good. We love and miss you. Oh, thank you, Danita. Right. And sign up if anybody who is looking for the readings for 2022. I highly recommend. It's going to be definitely limited availability, just to kind of, project in the calendar is available. And maybe I'll give more information next month about it. But if you are interested in your yearly updates for 2022, I'm going to give a special rate to existing clients, because it seems like the January and February becomes very, very kind of busy. And I just, all I can do is like take 3 or 4 people a day to do the readings. And I just start feeling it. Just giving you kind of heads up. So feel free to connect. All right. Well, thank you so much. Have a good rest of the evening, and I'll see you on the 5th of October. Namaste, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.